Hello and welcome to The Report, Cal State Fullerton's premier source for news, views, and info. I'm Alyssa Ruiz.
I'm Shan McKercher.
And I'm Leslie Duarte. On today's episode, we'll be discussing President Donald Trump putting North Korea back on the list of state sponsors of terrorism.
Plus, we'll be bringing you the latest report on whether NFL players could be kept in the locker rooms during the national anthem.
And finally, we'll be bringing you some of the latest on local and CSUF news. All this and more on today's episode of The Report.
Into our first hot topic, we'd like to invite you to be a part of the discussion on this semester's season. Click on the link in the caption of any of our report episodes to fill out a secure Google form with your opinion on any controversial issue that we've talked about now or in the past, as many of these issues are reoccurring and evolving, ranging from gun control to abortion, climate change, and the state of politics right now. All we ask is to please keep it civil.
On November 19th, President Donald Trump announced the U.S. is putting North Korea back on the list of state sponsors of terrorism. In a cabinet meeting, Trump called North Korea, quote, a murderous regime, end quote, and that this designation should have happened years ago. A day later, he announced a new wave of sanctions over North Korea's development of nuclear weapons that could pose a direct threat to the U.S. The terrorism blacklist has grown since Kim Jong-un's half-brother Kim Jong-nam was assassinated in February in a Malaysian airport. North Korean agents were blamed for plotting his death, which was considered an act of terrorism. This year, Trump ordered an end to the policy of, quote, strategic patience, end quote. That was pursued by President Barack Obama in hopes that North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, would eventually agree to negotiate. North Korea will join Iran, Sudan, and Syria on the blacklist. The North had been on America's terrorism list for 20 years, up until 2008, when former President George W. Bush removed the title to salvage international talks. The talks collapsed soon after and haven't been revived since. Now, since, Trump took office, his administration had created a war on terrorism plan, which is very similar to Obama's. Really, the only difference is that Trump wants to put more troops, in battle. Do you guys think that the war on terrorism will work in the Trump administration?
I hope it works. In North Korea, they think it's 1984. We just had that college student come back who was in a coma and died. He was sentenced 15 years of hard labor, an American citizen. I mean, I think it's really sad. And North Korea right now is literally turning the world against themselves. China is avoiding diplomatic talks with them. We're not the only country. So I think they're honestly doing it to themselves. And we need to be careful. And if it means more military, if it means spending money and keeping our plan intact, then I agree.
I'm just on edge. I'm scared. I don't know what will work, whether you negotiate or whether you, enforce more of our military. I mean, either or, the sky is crazy.
I mean, we're going to negotiate. We're not just going to go and full on start a nuclear war. I
think we're gonna try to negotiate. Do we think negotiation will end up working in the end? I don't think so. Look at North Korea. Look at Kim Jong-un. Very unpredictable. It's hard to say what could happen, but we have to try. We have to try to do something.
And we're not just going to go and straight up attack. There has to be negotiation.
I mean, I guess my issue is that I don't know what will work in the end, whether, like I said, negotiation or enforcing our military. The only thing I know is that it seems dangerous to threaten Kim Jong-un with our military. It just seems like, well, what if he fights back? What if he launches a missile and reaches our coast?
I still think we have the greatest military on the country.
Yeah, we do. But it still makes me nervous.
Definitely.
It's still.
It's like another thing. The missile crisis. Only decades have passed since then. So obviously, nuclear weapons and everything have become way more advanced.
I don't think we have to be very worried, though, because we do have the strongest military, and we are also forming with other countries who are against, who are starting to not be on North Korea's side, you know?
And, you know, I think what's important to point out is that China recently joined in not officially trading with North Korea, so that enforced and made them more mad by.
But I think it's good, because why would we want them to have weapons and guns?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to a topic that has been super hot this past year, especially with the NFL being mid-season. Free speech is truly extended to the private sector as NFL players continue to kneel during the national anthem. Some NFL owners believe they will make a change to the league's national anthem policy. That is, to keep players in the locker room until the anthem is over. Although the statement has not been made official, some people believe that if protests last all season and remain intensely controversial among fans, this policy change is likely to happen. The owners and the league could address this matter at the annual meeting in March. The NFL declined to comment about any predicted policy change. Previously, in October, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said at an owners meeting, quote, "We believe everyone should stand for the national anthem. That is an important part of our policy. It's also an important part of our game that we all take great pride in. And it's also important for us to honor the flag and our country. And we think fans expect us to do just that," end quote. So my question is, should the NFL keep politics off the field? And do you guys agree with Roger Goodell? Is it a show for the fans?
Alyssa, you go first.
I feel like where to begin with this topic. What really I just do not understand is where this issue has gone, where it began and where it is now, and how huge of a controversy it has become. Colin Kaepernick last season, when he first he sat down for the national anthem, the reason why he did it was to show about police brutality and how it is such a horrible issue that is occurring in our country right now. And then he spoke with a U.S. Army veteran, Nate Boyer, and the Army veteran said to him, "Listen, why don't you kneel? Because in the military, we kneel for fallen soldiers, and that's how we show respect to them." So then Colin Kaepernick started kneeling, and then dozens of other players started kneeling as well, because of police brutality. And then it somehow became this issue of disrespecting the flag and disrespecting the military and disrespecting our country. What do you think about this, Leslie?
Going back to what the NFL is trying to do, it just seems like they're trying to take away free speech from the players.
I don't agree, because we stand for the anthem and salute the flag for those who fought, died, and sacrificed for you to be able to have that right to have free speech. And yes, it was his right. He can kneel. It's not against the rules. He's peacefully protesting. It's not the right place. It's not the right time.
So when you're getting paid $1 million. So no, because
what
people
else
say
is he
that
doing?
A lot. People, you can't protest here, you can't protest there. Don't do that. But why? Okay, first of all,
people don't even
why aren't people outraged as much as they are when people are kneeling for the flag at the same rate that they are outraged when a black man gets shot in the streets by police? Why is that not outrageous to people? Why, when a black man gets shot, somebody doesn't go, "Man, that cop was wrong and he didn't even get to go to a trial or, to see a jury to see what the decision was made." They just ignore it. And I agree. The same thing is happening on the football fields when it's easy for you to ignore the black man's life.
And easier for you to protect the military like we do so often in this country.
Right, but you should, because that is what we stand for. I don't understand. People tried to come in our country. They would die to be in our shoes. And the flag is literally what binds us together. Red, white, and blue. And it's more than, patriotism is more than just buying fireworks on the 4th of July and standing for a flag.
It's about justice for all.
Right.
Exactly.
And just right now, that is not specific enough. Justice for all is not specific enough.
Well, I think shared belief in America is the only thing that glues this country together. And I think it's sad that people are disrespectful, and you have millions of fans that have parents, that have children in the military, that have literally that are overseas, women and men who are fighting, and then when you're getting paid to play a football game, there's a way to protest, but not kneeling during the game.
That's the platform they have.
But what else is he doing? What else is Kaepernick doing besides
nothing
kneeling?
right now?
And
Because he's not even on the team right now.
Kaepernick in his recent shoe asked,
but he's not doing anything else. Kneeling and not saying anything is not doing anything about the cause.
No,
it's
because
not
it
the
created
right,
awareness about the issue, or at least talks of the
Nothing
issue.
is still being
No,
done.
because now we're focusing on the issue of us disrespecting the military.
it was not about that.
It was never about that.
It was about police brutality.
And NFL ratings have gone down 7.5% since last year because fans are outraged by it.
Yeah,
well, then that's sad if they can't, if they can't still enjoy the game.
I want to read a quote from Obama, who commented on this at the presidential town hall meeting. He said, "Well, as I've said before, I believe that us honoring our flag and our anthem is part of what binds us together as a nation. And I think that for me, for my family, for those who work in the White House, we recognize what it means to us, but also what it means to the men and women who are fighting on our behalf. But I also always try to remind folks that we respect people's rights to have different opinions."
Yes,
exactly.
Their freedom of speech.
However, you can see how it's disrespectful, though.
It's not, okay. I have the uttermost respect for the people that have fought in this country. I have my boyfriend that is in the military that has fought in the wars.
Right, and not standing for the anthem is not going to get us those results. That's what people aren't realizing.
Because people in America think that America is more important than the American people. And
that's not true. America, we all come from different backgrounds. We don't even all speak the same language in California, right?
But it's like we don't like to acknowledge that all the time.
If we had so much respect for our military, then we would support them when they come back for more and not leave them homeless.
But what makes me really
sad
sad is that people have to identify the flag as a symbol of racism. Or since when did wearing an American flag? Sometimes it is. You automatically assume
this has gone way far off from police brutality.
That's what this is happening. But this has nothing to do with police brutality.
But that's where it began. No, people have gone so far off that they don't want to talk about the reality of police brutality that they switched it on something else.
When I go to a football game, then players should stay in the locker room, or maybe they shouldn't. But when I go to a football game, I want to leave politics out of it, and that's why fans and people are upset.
Because it's so easy for people to ignore politics. It's just like this hypocrisy.
But people get upset when a controversial speaker comes and gives freedom of speech, and you guys can't agree that that's okay. But then kneeling for a football game, it doesn't do anything. What else is he doing?
No. When you talk about freedom of speech, it's for everything. Whether you're in a football field, whether you're outside of the locker room, whether you're in your car.
But kneeling down and not saying anything is not.
He has definitely spoken out about this and why he's doing it, but people still don't listen to it. He's done so many things.
He's done as much as he can do. What else can he do? He can't end police brutality himself, but he can bring awareness about the issue.
But kneeling is not bringing awareness. I don't think so.
And like I said, once again, this has just become... It's just turned into a completely different issue that has just been blown up. And it's sad.
I'm grateful he has the right to do it. I would never do it. I would never kneel.
If we're so concerned about forcing people to kneel or stand for the flag,
we're not forcing. You don't have to.
Then we need to a country like North Korea,
because it's a respect thing, and you don't have to do
anything.
And
maybe that's
it's not like he's in jail. It's not against the law.
I personally do not find it disrespectful if someone kneels.
When the Pledge of Allegiance and the Anthem were written, there was slavery. When they said justice and equality for all, it excluded black people. So what we're saying now is, hey, wake up. There is no justice for all. There is no equality for all.
But America, there is right now.
No, there is not.
People have more rights today than they ever have. Women, we have this equal pay.
They may have the rights, but is everyone really treated equally?
No, but we're not perfect, but our country is still the greatest.
All right, guys, this has been a hot topic for sure. Now turning to national news. Hollywood is full of princess and fairy tales, but we're going to have a real one pretty soon. Prince Harry, grandson of Queen Elizabeth II and fifth in line to the throne, just got engaged to Meghan Markle, an American actress who was born and raised in LA. Once they wed, Markle would become the first American to be given the title of Her Royal Highness. The union will also break new ground for two more reasons. First, Markle is biracial, and second, she was raised Catholic, which in the past would have been forbidden under royal succession. The new pair, who became engaged quietly earlier this month, will marry in spring 2018. and live in Nottingham Cottage at Kensington Palace, where Prince Harry currently lives.
Seeing as the holidays are approaching, I decided to take a trip to my local mall in Corona to find out how our growing materialistic society has changed the way people view the holidays and how it may affect the real meaning of them. Black Friday, a day where shopping turns aggressive, where camping out for days in front of a store has become acceptable, and a day where people forego Thanksgiving dinner to focus on the purchase of materialistic goods.
I mean, people don't even enjoy their Thanksgiving dinners anymore because Black Friday sales start around like 6 p.m. Black Friday is a huge deal, and it shouldn't be, because you're just finishing up what you're thankful for. And next thing you know, you're buying all these materialistic things.
But Black Friday isn't the only way society pushes the importance of materialism. Stores start advertising for holiday sales before Halloween.
It's actually insane because you see Christmas trees going up the second that the Halloween decorations go down.
As of last year, the average American spends $929 on holiday gifts for friends and loved ones, which is nearly $50 more than the average in 2015. And Pope Francis, the head of the Roman Catholic Church, suggested that the true meaning of Christmas is being drowned out by materialism, by stating Christmas has been, quote, hostage to materialism.
I mean, these holidays, like, you forget the real meaning behind them because you're always focusing on who you're going to buy gifts for next.
Wishing you a happy and safe holiday season, I'm Alyssa Ruiz for the Report Program.
Now turning to campus news, from November 13th to November 16th, the College of Education hosted Ed Week 2017 with theme Rising Together. Events within the Ed Week included an online conference with Titan alumni, a presentation on education challenges, and a boot camp for future teachers where they can learn what requirements are needed to enter a teaching credential program here at CSUF. Ed Week provided students and future educators the resources and knowledge of the requirements needed to find a job in the education field upon graduation. The events were open to the public and the CSUF community.
At CSUF Grand Central Arts Center, Rebecca Chernow created a vivid exhibition named #Superbloom. The exhibition simulates a California poppy field but is made from plastic items. Reporter Matthew Kirkland has all the details.
With the iPhone X retailing at $1,000 or more in stores and people waiting to drop hundreds of dollars on Kanye West's new shoe, one Cal State Fullerton in-residence artist is making something valuable out of materials insignificant to others.
And there was like a line to take selfies in the exhibition space. And while people were waiting, we had a chance to talk about the exhibition. There's a text panel in the space that kind of explains it, but it also gave us a chance to talk a little bit more about what environmental issues are going on, about the pollution of stores that take place through downtown Santa Ana, and issues of gentrification and change as well.
Rebecca Chernow created #Superbloom and currently lives above CSUF's Grand Central Art Center in downtown Santa Ana. She saw the excitement the actual Superbloom created this past spring and witnessed the massive amounts of trash being littered on Santa Ana streets from people's everyday purchases.
And noticing there was a lot of Starbucks straws around downtown because there's some big Starbucks here. And there was these bags from a local department store that drift through the streets of Santa Ana, these orange bags. So she started collecting those, and she created her own Superbloom here at Grand Central Arts Center so people could take selfies, but with recycled materials, and thinking about what it means to be in a space of environment or to destruct a space of environment.
That is why she was inspired to create #Superbloom, her own unique take on both art and culture today.
She's just noticed these things that exist. And so she's been collecting them and having other people collect them for her, cleaning them off and getting them in shape, and then creating the installation. So it's really kind of a heightened awareness of this thing that's made from this local community.
While California's real Superbloom has been over for months, Chernow's #Superbloom, made out of materials others cast away, will be on display until January 17th, 2018. For the Report Program, I'm Matthew Kirkland.
Well, ladies, this is our last episode of this season. I've had a great time working with you.
I'm so sad it's over.
I know.
I had so much fun with you guys.
It was a good semester. We had good discussions.
I know. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure working with you all.
Yes.
I wish you all the best in your holiday and in your years to come,
You
in your
too.
education
Have a great
and
New
your
Year.
careers.
Yeah, you too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all the time we have left here on the report today. Stay tuned for more news, views, and info. I'm Shannon McKercher.
I'm Melissa Ruiz.
And I'm Leslie Duarte. Stay fresh, Fullerton.